Akademiks can't ride no wave.
I get into my Durk. I get into my Durk and I say warning session. I'm hearing some rain. I got the big boy Pluto outside. I gotta get him in. Hold on. What the fuck? Okay. So Durk says he's ready to drop. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna say this to Durk because I rock with Durk and I like Durk. I think Durk is gonna be a good litmus test for the entire industry. For a lot of y'all artists who y'all got 15 excuses why you're flopping because I'm sorry. I'm telling you, people have moved on. Yo, the hardest thing for artists to know or realize, yo, the fans is moving on, bro. They like new people. Yeah, you were egotistical at one point, Meek Mill, but then they like the new guy. They rocking with OT7 Kwani. That's what it is. You know, it happens. I keep telling you, rappers are running backs. You have to be really special to be able to last for 10 to 15 years. You have to really be saying something. You really have to have a fan base. A lot of people, they don't have a fan base. They are the hot commodity for the moment. And what happens in hip hop is that there's always another hot commodity that comes. There's always somebody cooler, somebody younger that makes the person you've been liking looks a little lame. And what happens is fans just kind of move on. Fans have shown consistently that they just don't owe anybody any type of loyalty. They don't owe the artist loyalty where the artist thinks that, oh no, I've given you these songs, I'm gonna come back. No, it's not gonna work. So here's why I say this is a oh my god. Here's why I say this is a testing ground for Lil Durk. And it has nothing to do with Lil Durk, but it has to do with everybody around him. Let's mention artists that you would have compared Lil Durk to 2 years ago. Spam it. Spam it, chat. Mention artists that you would have compared Lil Durk to 2 years ago. Every artist you're going to mention. Roddy Ricch. I think people have moved on a bit. Polo G. I think people have moved on a bit. Lil Baby. You see, Lil Baby was higher than both of those other two artists. It's teeter-tottering. He has to really come with it. But his next album is going to be a proven ground too. Just think about it. A Boogie. I think people have, by the way, some of these guys, I consider A Boogie a legend. But I think the time in the peak of their, to kind of explain it, bro, an artist goes through a period where he's just hot. And it's not, and people are going to be tuned in whether they're fans or not because that's the wave. People are dick riders. Oh, shit. Like, for example, I'm going to use a streaming comparison. Kai Cenat. If Kai gets on right now, he gets 100,000 people watching him. Bro, probably 60,000 of those people are his real fans. Like, they probably watch at least a stream a week. They're tapped in with him. They probably follow a fan page or not. They follow what he posts on his Instagram. They know, like, if you ask him off rip, yo, what group he's in, they know he's an AMP. They know a few people around him. That's a fan. The rest of these 40,000 people, bro, they're dick riders. Bro, they're there because they're like, yo, it's popping to watch Kai right now. And that's just really always kind of what it is. Like, and to be honest, I think a 60-40 mix with anybody. I'm not using Kai. I'm just using everybody. A 60-40 mix is always generous. So when you get to realize that, bro, that 60-40 mix at any time, they eventually move on to what's hot, bro. So, like, for example, bro, I'm telling you, it's boggling my mind. How did A Boogie sell like 100,000 last album, and in this album he sold 20,000? How did Roddy Ricch sell A last time, and now he's at here? How did Polo G? Like, it's boggling my mind, but then I realize we have a generational shift. The new young kids ain't looking at Polo G, Roddy Ricch, or A Boogie like, yo, y'all the hot niggas for the moment. They're looking at new people. That's just what it is. So those guys, I mean, maybe if they get a hot song or whatever, like, of course it'll work. But their real fans got to pop out for them to make them sell, like, a lot. And for the most part, maybe we thought it a little bit more. These guys are, like, in the 30K range. You get me? And I see someone saying that's why like Drake, Kendrick, the big three. Yeah, that's why the big three is such a thing though. Bro, you know how hard it is to be relevant for 15 years? Do you know how hard it is to have an audience engaged? Bro, if you haven't, think about this in hip hop. Let's forget the guys we're talking about. If you have a fan for 15 years, most likely you picked up that person when they were a teenager as a fan. And now they're in two different stages of their life. Because you know, as a teenager, if anybody in the 30s in here or close to 30, spam one. When you're a teenager, you're 15, 16, 17, that lifestyle is like this. Like, you know what it is, blah, blah. Like, you can remember back to your 16 if you're older, right? If you're 16 now, you know what I'm talking about. For the people who are 16, I'm going to tell you, yo, when you get to your 20s, now you could drink, right? Like, once you pass that I could drink era, but also now it's like society, your parents, and everybody's looking at you like, yo, you're a grown man, responsibility era. That's the era of itself, right? So those are the 20s. Then you get to your 30s of like, all right, so what do you bring into this world along with the responsibility, right? You having kids? Are you getting married? Are you know, like it's a whole different thing. For an artist to keep you for 3 different times of your life, through and through, bro, that's legendary shit. Like, think about it. Like, say Lil Pump. Bro, you knew that Lil Pump was only good for those 3, like, no disrespect to him, I fuck with Pump, but he was only good for those 2-3 years of your life where you were going out every night getting drunk. You know what I mean? Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Like, it was only for that. You start getting hit with bills, Gucci gang can't help you, bro. Like you just kind of, like, the music just not relevant to you anymore. Like, you know, it just is what it is. So for an artist to relate to you for 15 years as you as a person going through all type of changes, it's really rare. And that's what I'm trying to come back to y'all with saying this internet era and this clout era, this post-clout era. We've been indoctrinated to think because we see these guys with the followers or they had some success, they can't go from there to here really quickly. Bro, there was a time, like, I know y'all gonna say he's a snitch, whatever. There was a time 6ix9ine was a top 3 artist in the fucking game. Bro, how quickly did that change? That's why you gotta appreciate somebody like Nicki. She's been there consistently. There was a time that people legitimately thought Iggy Azalea was going to be the second best or the second most successful female rappers that we heard of. She's doing OnlyFans. There was a time that people thought that Bad Baby was going to be the youngest in charge. She's out of here. Like, bro, things change quickly. Things change quickly. And I'm telling you. So for Durk, I think Durk's done a lot of great music. I think he's, by the way, going through a lot of growth. Man, I'm watching Durk grow, and I'm like, I'm so proud of him. I'm proud of him because he's not living a life of what people want him to do. He's living a life of coming to his own self as a man and figuring out what he thinks is best for him, himself, and his family, for his own mind state, and now also understanding his influence. That's big. But the test is yet to come. The music test. I think the spiritual test he's passed. The spiritual test I believe Durk has passed. The music test is going to come with this. Could Durk still continue? Remember when I was proud when that nigga hit 100K first time he did it. So that's a big dog right there. It is. But we are at the point where the Durks, the Polo G's, the Roddy Riches, the A Boogies, people are now saying, you know, people are moving on from them naturally. Unless they give those people a reason to stay. And a lot of that is based on hit records. You got to have a hit, man. You got to keep a hit. Now, I'll tell you people who are like, they're immune to it. By the way, this is why another reason why 2017 freshman list was so epic. Because half of them guys are immune to it. Well, not immune to it. They've worked through it. Like, 21 Savage only got better with time. Uzi's Uzi. Like, Uzi, like, whenever he drops, he's the guy. He's kept the mystique and he kept the creativity. Still the guy to this day. Right? Who else was on there? Yachty. Yachty, there was 2 or 3 times we thought Yachty was out of here. Like, yeah, get this whack ass thing. And he popped back up. So he found a way to reinvent and try and get back the attention. And then when it comes to, lastly, Kodak Black, Kodak is one of those people, like, I would compare his music more to Rod Wave. Because from all the people I mentioned, I won't mention Rod Wave on that list. Rod Wave could drop when he want to drop. Rod Wave, something about his music, something about Rod Wave's music touches people beyond a Durk, beyond, and I'm not disrespecting these guys, I'm just telling you what it is, beyond a Durk, a Polo G, a Roddy Rich, even A Boogie. His music, he's the only nigga I really think could take like 2 to 3 years these days. Kodak is just a phenom. He's like, I'm forgetting the word to use, but like, he's like something you can't explain. So anyway, I believe that Lil Durk is gonna, he's gonna have to, his next project is gonna tell us a lot. Cause he's been on, keep in mind, Durk went like this, and then he went like this when he got dropped from Def Jam like 10 years ago. Then he started coming back up. Now he had big dog status, right? Now we trying to see, will he continue to have that momentum, or will it be a Polo G situation, right? He's taking some time. Now, some people are, like when I sat with Polo G, I think Polo G kind of explained some of what he believed was, might be the disconnection or drop off of fans with, I took a little bit too long. I mean, Durk's taking a little time right now. Will that cost him? Will that mean that people like, man, we don't want to hear this shit no more? Or will it cost him because, like, it seems like he's almost sending the signals like, yo, bro, I'm not going to keep this in the dead. I'm not making music to beef with ops, right? And I think some people are like, that's why we like you. So if he doesn't do that, is it a wrap? Will people go on this spiritual journey? I think, some people from where he's from is mad about him because they don't feel like he's claiming, was it BD? They feel like he's more underneath the umbrella of being a Muslim. They feel a way about that. They also feel a way about maybe him pushing quote unquote peace. You know what they saying? Man, it's easy for you to say you successful. You don't want to go to jail. You don't want to get locked up. So you want to be peaceful. But them niggas over there, they killed our family members. They killed our friends. Fuck them. What is it? So I do think Durk is going to come up against that test. What I will say is this, and I want to send this message to a lot of new artists. I talked to even OT7 Kwani this morning, and I talked to him and I said, man, brother, don't crash out. You're one of the few artists I see that young kids identify with, but there's such a long journey to go. He told me about the amazing things that he's getting millions of dollars. He got a Maybach. He got this. He's doing great. But the journey of being an artist is not just because you could get booked for like, $70,000 a show. There's a lot of heights to get. And I was talking to him today. I was just like, bro, there's a new generation of kids that they're looking at you like how in 2013 people looked at, and I'm not saying it's the same, they looked at Sosa or they looked at Durk, right? And I'm not saying it's the same wave. Chill out. I'm not saying it's the same wave. But what I'm saying is that I remember people didn't understand why Chief Keef had an audience, but there was a bunch of kids that was like, they seen a nigga who was their generation, their level of either ignorance or however they felt, was putting into music and it was fucking with it. There's a new generation here that don't want to listen to Meek Mill no more. They can't identify with him. Bro, you're hanging out with Michael Rubin all the time. They want a nigga who they actually feel still in the hood, for better or for worse. You get what I'm saying? And I tell those young artists, don't crash out. Because I think most of them are crashing out before they get to a point of success, honestly.